On today's program, once again, we have Theresa Shultz sitting in for Wes Golden because Wes is doing some chaperone duties. Is that right, Theresa?
Yeah, this week, or the end of this week into the weekend, our orchestra is getting to go explore Nashville and do some performances down there, which is just a great opportunity for our students. And Mr. Golden, being a father of a current senior, got to go as a chaperone, which makes me just sleep a little better at night knowing that I have an admin down on the trip with them.
There you go. You know, it's a great opportunity for the students when they get this chance to do something like that. Talk about putting together a trip like that, however. I mean, you've got to pay for it. You got to get the transportation. A lot goes into it.
Yeah, so thankfully, we just have wonderful teachers in all our music programs that really look for these extra opportunities for our students. There's also a whole market or a whole business out there that caters to these types of programs that help with all the logistics of the travel. So we try to do trips every other year, one big one for each kid while they're in their 4-year high school experience, and then a small one that they get to go on as well. So we do a lot of fundraising to make sure that it's accessible to any student that wants to go on to it. But yeah, cost is always something that we're looking for donors. We're always keeping our ears and eyes open for things to just make it affordable so we can give more kids experiences that really are lifelong memories.
So now will they be doing performances then while they're in Nashville?
Yes, they'll do a little bit of a clinical and then a performance while they're down there, along with a lot of sightseeing and fun.
Good place to be, Nashville. People who drive by 8th Avenue South by the high school, they certainly have noticed some demolition going on. How has it been going?
Well, just in the last 2 days, we've really noticed a lot of the structure of the front of the building starting to come down. It is remarkable and funny how many times that we get people saying, oh no, it's going down, and really the emotion behind that, because it has been such a pillar ever since the fire. It has looked exactly like it has looked. And so that has just been a part of our community for so long. What is replacing it will be a part of our community for the next 100 years, and it's going to be fantastic for our students, and just giving them a state-of-the-art building that they can feel proud of and walk into knowing that our community has invested so much in them. It makes a difference all around. So as emotional as it is for certain generations, it is going to be really exciting for the next 10 generations that go through Clinton High.
Well, I was part of that generation. I was a class of 72, and we were the last class that was actually at Washington Junior High School, and then going back and forth to then the shops building and the gymnasium, of course. So, yeah, I got to walk into the door when it first opened up, but it was needed. You know, talking with the teachers, and it said it was in need of something new, and it's going to be beautiful.
Yep, it already, through phase 1 and phase 2, it is absolutely state-of-the-art and gorgeous, and it really just creates a different feel at Clinton High, which is fabulous. And the amount of natural light makes such a difference as well. That old building really had limited natural light for our students.
Yeah, you couldn't look outside in some of your classrooms. Mm-hmm. You were inside.
Yeah.
So this is concluding. Phase 3 will be getting underway. Talk a little bit about what will be replacing what is going down.
Yep, so this is phase 3 that we're currently in, and phase 2 really took up the back half of the academic building, which, if you are familiar with the old Clinton High, the girls' swimming pool, that kind of area in back, is where phase 2 was. This is taking up the front of the old academic building and the old guidance office and the old main office. So all of that is coming down, and what we'll replace it with is a new front office, a new grand entrance to Clinton High, and then a second floor will have 2 classrooms and the guidance counseling suite, and this will all overlook the commons and a really big common open area that will be in front of our new theater, which will make our new theater very accessible, handicap accessible, just something that has not been in the past always as easy to get to. We're also going to have some parking right in front of Clinton High. So as much as everyone has to walk to get into Clinton High now, we'll have a lot more accessibility to anyone that does have some limitations physically to get into Clinton High.
And there is going to be an open house coming up on Saturday, March 29th.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So we like to celebrate when we're getting done with each phase. And phase 2 was a little bit delayed just because of this very grand, very wonderful theater that we have put in. The theater is going to be first used this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for a band concert. And so we encourage everyone to come and check it out with us, check out this beautiful space, and check out our band as they perform in the beautiful space for the first time. But on Saturday, we are going to show off all of Phase 2, which is our CTE programming, and that is autos, construction, welding, and ag, and then our music suites. So we have our orchestra, band, and chorus rooms that are all new in Phase 2, and these all shape around a brand new theater. So the theater is finally coming to be completed here shortly. It's getting all cleaned up, ready to go for the performance on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, anyone in the public can come in. We will have students giving tours of Phase 2. Phase 1 will be open. We won't have tours of Phase 1, but you can walk around Phase 1 as well, just to see where we're at in our construction progress. Also, just coming to Clinton High, make sure you're paying attention on 8th Avenue South, because it is quite the sight to see as it's coming down.
So now on March 29th for this open house, where should people come in?
So we'll actually have 2 doors open on the far west and far east side of the doors. So the Hall of Fame entrance will have open, and that will be easy just because we will have overflow parking over in the student lot across the street. But you can also park in the staff lot on the far east side of the building. B4 in the center there, you can get in through Phase 1 as well. That's been the hardest part of construction, is we have had to change our quote-unquote main entrances, but we'll continue to put signs out and get you guys in.
Once it is completed, it is just going to be state of the art. What have been some of the comments that you've heard from the instructors and the students about this new theater area?
Well, they haven't really been in it that much. Okay. It has still been an active construction zone that it hasn't been turned over, so we can't have any students in there. All of the adults are just extremely excited. We have a brand new pit orchestra it's a true pit, and just the AV, the lighting system, all of that is just a huge upgrade. Vernon Cook opened, I believe, in 1969, or that's when construction was roughly done. And so there were just a lot of limitations. And looking at the way that Vernon Cook was set up with the lecture halls on top, this is just strictly a really nice theater that we have. And so it will be exciting to just see the students perform in it, see the teachers get excited about what they all have available to them to help those students shine. And we're just all around. I can't wait for Wednesday night to just get people in it and finally feel like, hey, we made it to this next milestone.
And it's going to be so much easier for the students who are in band, orchestra, and choir, because before that was all in the old shops area, and then the Vernon Cook Theater was on the other side of the building. Now I understand everything is kind of right in the area they should be.
Yes, it is just one hallway away, or one they're on the same hallway and they just have to cross the hallway. So that will be a huge upgrade. We would always call it the pilgrimage, going from the old S wing to bring all the drums, all the basses for orchestra, all the equipment that they needed to perform. It was a whole day process to get it there and then a couple hours to get it back. And now it's all so close that it will just make the performance itself that much easier and more enjoyable because it's not as much work.
Check of the weather is coming up, and then more with Theresa Shultz on today's FYI. Our weather brought to you by Electronics.
A little bit more calm expected in our skies for your Thursday. Abundant sunshine, a little bit of a breezy wind out of the northwest, and cooler temperatures today in the low to mid 40s. Tonight's skies will be mostly clear, and overnight lows will drop to near freezing. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Right now, sunshine, 33 degrees, northwest wind still up around 15. Our update brought to you by Electronics.
Electronics Incorporated in Clinton is the area's largest communication and alarm systems company. Electronics offers best-in-class life safety, security, two-way radios, and communications equipment from top brands. Electronics, the company you've trusted for over 50 years, can now provide fire extinguisher sales service and inspections, plus kitchen hood inspections as well. Call 563-242-1223 or visit them online at www.electronicsinc.com for your free estimate.
Well, we continue on FYI. Again, Theresa Shultz in for West Golden, and we're talking about the naming. It's the Durgan Performing Arts Center, and of course you got the Durgan Sports Complex at Eagle Heights. It's great that a family is able to give back to their community like what the Durgans have.
Yeah, we are so thankful just because we know that we couldn't make a lot of the improvements we have without donors like the Durgans, and it's just been above and beyond what we could even imagine, their generosity to really give back to our school system and make sure that our kids have the best of the best. So it's exciting, but thank you to the Durgans, and we just want to really honor them in this whole endeavor too, because without people like them, this wouldn't be possible.
Again, visiting with Theresa Shultz. Speaking of endeavors, with all the construction that is going on, you've had to change some things as far as class scheduling, I understand, lunches, different things like that, parking. That is quite an endeavor.
Yes, it's one of the constant changes at Clinton High, and we have done some instruction just with our students and our adults just about change is okay. And while this is inconvenient, the end is in sight and it's totally worth it. So any inconvenience of the extra walking, hey, that's healthy for us to get a little extra walking when we're parking, and the constant change. They know that when they see these whiteboards that are freestanding in the hallway, that there's another change. And sometimes there's a new wall that's built in a hallway that you usually walk down, and then there's a little whiteboard that tells you the new way to get to that place. So our students have really just, they have really been adapting to every change, and I can tell you that students handle change a lot better than adults sometimes. So we'll take it one day at a time, and we've had to open campus for lunch just because of the lack of a lunchroom during this phase of construction, and it has gone, and knock on wood, quite well. We still have to remind some students to hurry it up and make sure they're back on time for their next class, but overall the kids have done a really great job in respecting that and being back when they needed to be back.
You know, I get the opportunity monthly to talk to athletes and a fine arts student as presented by the Athletic Boosters as well as the Candlelight Inn. And I know visiting with some of the seniors, they talk about the fact that they can't wait to come back and see what it looks like. And then when you talk to like the freshmen or sophomores, they are really excited about what it's going to be like by the time they are seniors.
Yeah, the students, they understand the gravity of this all, and that it is just like you walked into the Clinton High when it reopened. These students realize that they're going to be the first ones to experience each of these phases, and that's really is quite cool, and it's fun to see how how big it is in their lives as well. They're getting excited about it, which is awesome and exactly what our community wanted. We want to get our kids excited about education, excited about Clinton High. It's not just about the school district, but it brings a lot of pride to the community as well.
Again, visiting with Theresa Shultz. Now, of course, yesterday we had hail, but it is spring, and the spring sports are getting underway. Next Tuesday, the River Queens will have their early bird invitational in track and field. I want to talk about that 9-lane track that is now available for the Clinton High students to participate on. I know we've hosted a conference meet because of that facility. I mean, it's great to have something like that. I mean, Coan Field and that track is nice, but to have another area where they can compete.
Yeah, it's really wonderful, just any facilities that we do have access to. I know that Clinton High is a little landlocked where we currently are, that we can't expand a ton, minus the availability of Westfield, which we're always kind of looking and pushing our luck with, what could we do there? But we were fortunate enough when Ashford did close that we had the opportunity, once again, very generous people to give us that opportunity at a great price to have a second facility. This really helps out with our middle school, having more access to a track to just develop our younger programs, but it is also really nice to have a second state-of-the-art facility that we can host events on as well. And having nine lanes does give us access to host state-level events, just like the conference MAC meet last year. But I think it's great because when I am a parent at other districts, talking to other parents, one thing I hear is just how great Clinton facilities are. And so we have the rest of the MAC talking about us too, and I think that is just so telling to where we're at as a district right now and kind of climbing back up to royalty.
You know, no doubt about that, because the renovations that have been made at your gym are just tremendous. The lighting in there is so much better now, and the seating is very well done. And of course, you have the aquatic center, which is not that old. That's fairly new as well, and that is a great facility. And we were talking about the Durgans, and of course, the Durgan Sports Complex at Eagle Heights. Now it will be its 11th summer. And I can remember that because that was Coach Cunningham's first year is when we moved up there, and he's going into his 11th year as the coach. But that is a great complex as well. Even though it's kind of spread out throughout the city, at least they have their own facility. Because when I was at Clinton High, we had to share the stadium with the professional baseball team. So you didn't really get to practice there. Now they can practice as well as participate in the games up there.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have that facility, and that becomes a second home to a lot of our athletes in softball and baseball. I know my son is a freshman this year, and already they're going up there almost every night to hit balls, and it just gets kids excited. Having great facilities just really makes the difference for our athletes to show up and perform.
Before we let you go, just wanted to let you know that next Wednesday we're going to have a couple of your students in from the Synergy program. Madison Hensel and Addison Lorenzen are going to be in to talk about an event that they are putting in. Bill Mashevitz is going to join them as well. But talk about the Synergy program. I mean, that is something above the academic area.
So our Synergy students are really have one goal, and is to lift up our community. They're doing different projects to lift up our community, and each student is looking for what is their individual passion and how can they give back to our community through that passion. And sometimes that's working with area businesses, nonprofits, or individuals to really get their projects off the ground. So I appreciate you having them in to help advertise their project, and I'm guessing it's honoring women in leadership, if that's what they're doing. Yep.
That derby thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, so just another way that our kids are stepping out and saying, hey, what can we do for our community? What can we do for our school district? And Synergy is a great opportunity for them to really take the bull by the horns and do something themselves. So it's great to see them flourish in that atmosphere.
And it's great to see Bill Mashevitz still around and keeping busy. And finally, before we do let you go, once again, the open house, March 29th. Talk about that, what people need to know about the open house.
Yep, so all of Phase 2 and Phase 1 will be open during the open house on March 29th. That's a week from Saturday, and it's 1 to 3. We will have students giving tours, answering questions, but we're just really excited to unveil what has been worked on for the last year and a half and get people excited for that final phase, because then when we do our final open house, construction will be done.
That'll be great. Hey, thank you so much for coming in. Once again, our thanks to Theresa Shultz, principal at Clinton High School, for stepping in for Wes Golden. Next week on FYI, of course, we get our